Hello and welcome back to On The Road Adventure. Today you find me on something a little bit different. Today I am on the Moto Morini 6.5. But is this an Italian stallion? So Moto Morini, you probably haven't seen too many of these on the road of late, but they have been around a very long time. Mostly known for some of their older V-twins, but this one is not a V-twin. This is a parallel twin 650 motor based loosely on the Kawasaki old ER6, and the motor is made by Seiemmezzo. So the motor is it's becoming pretty well known and tried now. Now Moto Morini, like I say, they've been around a long time now, but they've been a little bit quiet, I would say, especially in the UK's market. But I think we're going to see a lot more of their stuff. I know they've got a lot of big things coming. They got the X-Cape coming out very soon, if not already, and they have some big V-twins coming out as well. That one's going to be a little while, but towards the end of the year they're going to have a 1200 V-twin adventure bike. That one looks tasty. But for now, we are on the Moto Morini 6.5. So what is this bike? Who's it for? What's it all about? Well, first of all, let's take a stop and I'll show you around this little beauty. So this is the Moto Morini 6.5. And what a little beauty she is. First of all, we got to look at the styling on this bike. This is a classic Italian styled bike. Yes, okay, it's made in China, it's bought out by a Chinese company now, but you know, I don't think that should affect our buying decision anymore. And you know, it has to be compared with all the other brands for sure. So let's have a little look around, let's see what we think. So for me, I am loving the styling of this tank. It reminds me a lot of the Kawasaki Zs, I think. But yeah, really nice styling there. Tank lines just flow nicely, and then over the seat as well. I think it's a really pretty bike. Moving to the front, we have this really nice LED ring headlight. It's got a really nice modern look to it, and those slim LED indicators as well look really good. We got the upside down forks, and we also have Brembo brakes as well. So here we have the 650 inline twin. This is made by Seiemmezzo and it's based off of the old ER6 engine. This one's been used in a few of their bikes now, and it's becoming fairly well proven, to be honest. You know, it's not a massive powerhouse. It's putting out about 60 horsepower, 54 newton meters of torque. But I've ridden this one a little way coming here, and I've got no real complaints about the engine at all. It goes very nicely actually. Build quality, yeah, looks okay. Some of the welds are a little bit chunky, but it's perfectly acceptable. I like this infill here with the holes drilled out. It looks nice. Again, just look at that seat and the stitching. Really nice. A nicely finished tail end there. We haven't got the big ugly number plate because we got that down here on the splash guard. So it's a really nice back end. And going back to the suspension, there's rear shock here is adjustable, as you can see. And again, another Brembo brake here. We have Pirelli Angel GT tyres, and there's that splash guard there with the number plate and the rear indicators. I think that looks quite tidy, really. And a really nice LED light there at the back as well for the brake light. Very smart. Up the top we have a really nice 5-inch colour TFT. I do really like this actually, and you know, it's bright and colourful and works well. It's a really bright sunny day today. However, a minor annoyance is these cables cover this sort of corner of the screen when you're sat on the bike riding. Just a little bit annoying, not a big deal. We have Brembo reservoirs, and we have Brembo brakes front and back on the discs. We have adjustable levers here as well, both the clutch and the front adjustable levers. And at the top of the front forks we also have fully adjustable suspension as well. The switchgear is backlit, which is very nice, and it is Bluetooth compatible as well, so you can connect your phone to this one for some basic tasks, I believe. So on the dash we've got the trip, your time, your fuel, your speed, gear indicator. What more do you need? So one area I can see that could do with being improved really in an ideal world is definitely getting a longer front mudguard there. We can see that the radiator is quite exposed and the dirt's being flicked up there. It doesn't have a radiator guard on it either, so you don't really want a stone going through that. So if I was to get one of these, that would be my first job: radiator guard and a fender extender. So a really nice small tailpipe there. It's got quite a nice bassy sound to it, to be honest with you, and I really like that they haven't put one of those whacking great cans on that seems to be all in at the moment. Quite a nice sounding little bike, I think. So there we go, a quick look around the Moto Morini 6.5. So let's take it for a spin then, and we'll see what we think of it, and see what the observations are when we get a few miles on it. Right then, so jumping back on board the Moto Morini 6.5. So seat height, I am 5'7", and both my feet are completely flat with a slight bend in the knee. This is not a tall bike, and if you're a shorter rider, this is definitely a good option to go for. I have to say though, I've ridden it here so far and I've not felt that the bike is too small for me at all. There's a good amount of room between the foot pegs and the seat, I would say. I'm really comfortable riding it. It's not like a lot of sports bikes where you feel, you know, really sort of, you know, squished up and bent up. It's actually a really nice, comfortable riding position. Well, enough chat. Let's go for a spin and we'll see what this one's like. Eva. So I would say the first thing you really notice about riding this bike is just how smooth it is. It's not a vibey engine really, certainly not at the lower speeds anyway. I haven't tried it at the highway speeds yet, but it feels very smooth. The throttle control and input is very smooth as well, and I have to say the handling is very good. There's a bit of an odd setup on these. There is an 18-inch front wheel and 17-inch rear wheel, and I suspect that leans a little bit towards the Scrambler variant of this. Perhaps they're sharing parts. Maybe there's a good reason for it and it improves handling, I'm not sure. We interrupt this Moto Morini 6.5 review to take a look at this old classic car. Look at this old MG. Well, cars aren't my thing, but you gotta really give it to people who keep something like this running on the road, because not only does this old boy enjoy taking it over the moors, but I enjoy seeing it. Very cool. So the big elephant in the room here is that this bike is priced similarly to lots of other bikes in the sort of you know, 650, 700 sort of market. You know, there are things like the MT-07 for example, for a little bit more money, that's putting out about 15 more horsepower. So who are they aiming this bike for? But like I say, I think Moto Morini have not spent their money tuning the engine and trying to give you the fastest bike. So you're getting some really good components on this bike. You're getting Pirelli Angel GT tyres, which are very, very good. You're getting Brembo brakes. You're getting a Brembo reservoir. So you've got really good stopping power there. You're getting fully adjustable suspension. And I have to say, all these things combined, the bike is making a really fun little ride through these small Devon lanes. So who are they aiming this bike at then, if it's not for somebody who's looking for the fastest bike? I think they have been actually very clever on this bike, because like I say, it's only putting out about 60 horsepower. I say only, right, but there's a good argument to say that that's plenty enough power for anybody, right? 60 horsepower on a modern bike is it's sufficient for modern day riding. But what's clever about this bike is that with a simple ECU flash, you can make this bike A2 compliant. So if you were stepping up from your 125 and you've just done your big test and you got your A2 license, you can go ahead and buy your Moto Morini 650, take it to the dealer, he's going to flash it for you, and then it comes under the A2 license. Now, when you come to pass your full test, you don't need to buy a new bike. You take this bike back to your dealer, it's going to flash it again and give you the full power. The other thing that I think I quite like about the Moto Morini is that at the moment there's not very many of them on the road. I mean, think about it. How many of your mates ride a Moto Morini? I don't know anybody at the minute, but I think that's going to change in the near future. Oh, slow down, horses in the road. Dartmoor National Park, ladies and gents. Look at this place, eh? What a beautiful place to ride. I put it to you that days like today is exactly what the Moto Morini is for. Really nice Sunday rides, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour along the single A roads. That's just perfect. So we were talking about the bike being a little bit down on power, perhaps in comparison to some of the other the bike's competition, should we say. But I have to say, it doesn't feel like it's low on power at all. The mid-range on this is really good, and something else that I quite like about it is that when you do open the throttle, it gives you a really deep burble. The sound on this is really enjoyable, actually. It's quite nice being on a bike that doesn't want to do death-defying speeds, you know. It's quite happy where it is. It's quite happy doing what it does and doing it well. And what's wrong with that? So it has to be said, I've been riding this bike now for about an hour or something like that, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a really nice Sunday afternoon plodder, a really nice smooth engine. There's not very much to complain about really. Handles well, stops well. I have to say, I really like this, the Moto Morini. It's the first one that I've ridden, and I suspect that there's going to be plenty more to come. I know that the brand's got big things and big plans for the UK and the bikes they're going to be bringing us, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on those as and when they become available. But for now, There is this one, and there's the Scrambler variant of it. So the standard one that I'm riding now is 6,700 basically, and the Scrambler variant is £7,000. They're basically the same bike, just some slightly different styling and things. Hopefully the Scrambler will come in soon and I'll get a chance to ride that one and show you that one as well. Now I want to take the opportunity to thank Rainbow Motorcycles in Ashburton in Devon. Those guys have been brilliant, and they got this Moto Morini in and they give me a call up and said, Rich, do you want to come out and have a go and tell your subscribers what you think about it? I'm only too pleased to jump on the bike and do just that. So remember, as always, these review videos, it's just one man's opinion, and I strongly recommend to anybody, if you get the opportunity or if it's a bike that you're interested in, get yourself out on it and ride it yourself and see what you think. But I think you'll quite like this one.